Welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Last time, we made it to the Great Bay Coast, so this time, we're beginning our search for the missing Zora eggs. We actually don't need rupees in the cycle, so let's return to the Great Bay Coast. First of all, let's equip the Zora mask, and before we jump into the water, let's head up here to see what's inside this building. They're late. What are those Zoras doing? What is it, boy? Did you also come to watch the Zora eggs hatch? I'm excited about it too, but those important eggs haven't arrived yet. It takes about 1 to 3 days from the time Zora eggs are laid for them to hatch. But if they aren't kept in this aquarium until then, they may die. The reason for this is that the recent abnormal weather has caused the ocean temperature to rise in this region. Zora eggs are very sensitive to changes in the temperature. The only way the eggs can hatch is if they're placed in this aquarium water, which I set aside for them long ago. The Zoras are well aware of this, but they're still late. I wonder if something has happened at Zora Hall. Oh, you finally came! I've been waiting for you. What about the eggs? I heard there was a total of 7. Hurry, put them in that aquarium. I like how we can transform directly in front of somebody, and they still won't know that we're the same person. Also, now we know where to take the eggs when we find them. So we want to jump into the water and swim over to the northern part of this area. Along the way, I wanted to mention that Zora swimming actually works differently in the 3DS version. The speed we're currently going at is tied to magic in that version, and the default swimming speed is actually a lot slower. This is actually one of the most polarizing changes in Majora's Mask 3D, having to use magic to swim at the original game's full speed, or default speed actually. Alright, over here we have a couple of panels. We want to swim over to the second from the left to find a secret entrance. Here we have the Gerudo Pirates Fortress. We have a ton of pirates circling this area, so let's wait for the final pirate to pass by before we hop into the water. They are indicated by the white squares on the minimap. To avoid detection, we can either swim underwater like so to the other side, or if you have the stone mask, you can use that to actually get across without being detected. Hypothetically, you can even jump onto one of the boats patrolling the area and ride it to the other side, if you have the stone mask, which might not be an option depending on which version you're playing. Alright, so we have one more pirate here. We're going to wait for her to pass by before we surface, just to be on the safe side, like so. And once we actually make it back to the surface, we'll want to stop and equip the Goron mask. I also discovered that the Goron mask has a few changes. In the 3DS version, the Goron punches are actually a lot faster, and curling up works differently. In this version, you hold the button to curl up and then release it to uncurl. In the 3DS version, you tap A to curl up and then tap it again to uncurl. It's a very interesting change, though it's not nearly as drastic as the Zora swimming changes. I do feel like the Goron changes make a little bit of sense because I have had times where I have accidentally uncurled in midair while trying to perform a Goron pound because I let go of A too early. So yeah, that change kind of makes sense. Alright, so hitting that switch with the Goron pound opened up a pathway into the fortress, so let's swim over and head inside. As unpopular as the Zora swimming changes are, I actually feel like this area makes a compelling case for why they changed it. I do feel like the full swimming speed in this version is actually a little bit unwieldy in really narrow corridors like this, so actually having a slower default speed kind of makes sense for this one area in particular, but overall even in this version it's not too bad. You got a red rupee, it's worth 20 rupees, that's pretty nice. In this area, you want to move a bunch of blocks to create a path, and also, while we're going through this, I wanted to mention that, as a reminder, the stone mask is actually not in Ikana, it's not in Ikana in the 3DS version. It was actually moved to inside the Pirates Fortress. I'll point out where when we get to that spot. So yeah, this initial area you would actually have to complete without the stone mask in that version. Also, it's worth mentioning that the bottle in the Ikana graveyard was actually swapped with the heart piece for the boat tour target practice minigame after defeating Adolwa in the southern swamp. So that basically means that you can actually get everything you need for this area without having to make that detour to the Ikana region, which actually makes a lot of sense because you do have to go out of your way for a lot of things before you can actually properly tackle this area. Here we have a bunch of mines and a current that will actually push us out of the fortress, so I would recommend walking under here and then surfacing once you're past that. And now we can safely make our way over to this next door to see where this takes us. In here we have even more mines, and across the mines we also have another treasure, so let's carefully swim over. You got a red rupee, it's worth 20 rupees, that's pretty nice. Next up, we want to walk up this ramp. There's a heart piece in there, obviously we're not getting it, but to access that area, you can press a switch behind these barrels, and then you'd have to use either the Goron mask or the bunny hood to carefully and quickly go past the door before it closes. You also have one more attack with the Zora form that we really haven't gotten a chance to use. If we charge up an attack with B, we can launch boomerangs. So let's try to hit the switch. And that opens the gate through the water, so let's quickly hop down and head inside. Through there we have a ladder. I actually want to check what's up here. We have a couple of jars, so let's break them for some items, hopefully. We got some arrows and we got a rupee. That's not as helpful, but we do need arrows for something coming up later. In here we have more mines and a current, but this time it's lower, so we're going to swim along the surface. When you're on the surface, you actually can swim at a slower speed, so it makes it a little bit easier to maneuver around the mines and the currents. Alright, so let's climb up here to see where this takes us. I do remember this section can be a little bit tricky, so let's give this a shot. We have a floor switch that'll open up this gate hiding a crystal switch that we'll have to quickly hit and then stand on this. And that takes us up here. Next up, we have some more arrows, very nice. Not that we need 20 arrows, that's actually overkill at this point. As far as I know, we only need like one arrow. But let's climb up here to see what's next. At the top of this area, we should find something interesting. So that's a little preview of our next area, and before I forget, I actually want to equip the stone mask, and next up we want to hit the crystal switch past these mines. So we have to walk across this somewhat narrow walkway and make our way over to the entrance to the main part of the Pirates Fortress. If you have it, I highly recommend using the stone mask for this. Also, this will make sense later, but we actually need a picture of one of the Gerudo Pirates, so let's actually try to line up a photo here, or a pictograph, technically. That should work, but over here by this ladder, this is actually where Shiro would be in the 3DS version. He'd be by one of these two crates. I don't remember which one it is. So if you're playing the 3DS version, you definitely want to get a potion before heading to this area so you can help him out and then get the stone mask, which will make the rest of this area way easier. But yeah, having to even do this much stealth without the stone mask is way less convenient, so that's why I highly recommend making the trip to Akana to get everything. Also for the bottle, which we'll be needing momentarily. But yeah, with the stone mask, we can very easily slip past all of the guards, unless they decide to block a path like this. There we go. I've been waiting for you. And, did you find the rest of the eggs? No, but that's because... What are you trying to pull here? If people hear the great pirates have lost the treasure they stole, we'll become the laughingstock. Yes, but, Avail. The sea is strangely murky where we were attacked by the sea snakes. Silence! That's why the Zoras can't send for any help. Now that the eggs are gone, the Zoras should be frantically searching for them. If we don't hurry, the Zoras will get to them before we do. There are 4 eggs here now. Hurry, go find the other 3 eggs before those sea snakes eat them. Understood. Wait. The Zora eggs are the only clue we have about that dragon cloud floating over the bay. If what that strange masked one says is true... And if we can get our hands on the treasure that lies sleeping in the temple in that dragon cloud... Then we can spend the rest of our lives living the good life. So get a move on and go find them, now! Understood. We need to find a way into that main chamber safely, but there are plenty of Gerudo around. If you didn't find arrows earlier, you can actually go over here, where you can find a couple of jars to break. So let's collect some more arrows, and let's see what we can do. We did see a hornet near the area, so let's see if we can stir the nest a bit with an arrow. And with that, the path is cleared. From here, we want to carefully hop down to this other ledge. And we can safely collect the treasure in the center of this room. You found the hook shot. Use it to grapple items so you can reel them in or pull yourself over to them. Press C to arm it, then use the control stick to aim. Release C to shoot. If we turn over here, we can find the first Zora egg, along with a clam that looks very spiky. So let's be a little bit careful here. We need a couple of things. Let's actually unequip the stone mask since there's no enemies around that we have to worry about being spotted by. And we need the hook shot and the Zora mask. Let's hook shot over here. We can target this like plank above, like so. Next up, we have to carefully drop down, hopefully not landing on the very spiky clam, and then trying to defeat it either with like, yeah, I think we have to defeat it with like regular attacks, like so. There we go. And using a bottle, we can store the egg. You put a Zora egg in a bottle. It doesn't look very healthy. You'd better have someone examine it quick. And this is why we need 4 bottles. Again, it might seem like overkill, but since we have 4 eggs in the fortress, we actually do need all 4 of them. So again, moving a bottle out of Ikana is actually kind of helpful in that regard. I am trying to think of what else we need. We also want to re-equip the stone mask in a moment, since we'll have to leave this area and head back out to where everyone is patrolling. Yeah, that's everything in here, so let's head back outside. Next up, I don't really want to take damage. This being a 3-heart run, I'm playing this a little bit safe, and we're actually taking the stairs for once. We're going to head down here, and we have a lot of hookshot targets in this like northern part of the fortress. So let's carefully make our way to the top of this area. Next up, we have to go to the one to the left of here, like so, and we actually have a door, but we want to turn around to find another very sneaky hookshot target over here. Sometimes I actually forget about this spot, so this area takes a lot longer sometimes than other times, but yeah. Also, by the way, you can actually attack the Gerudo Pirates, but they'll only be temporarily stunned. You can't, like, defeat them permanently. In here, we have some more Gerudo Pirates guarding a treasure chest, and luckily we can simply run over and open it. You got a silver rupee. It's worth 100 rupees. You're pretty happy. Next, we want to go up this ramp to the door. That's as far as you go. Do you think you can trick us with that mask? We actually have to fight this Gerudo Pirate. The fight isn't overly difficult usually, but again, with only 3 hearts, I'm a little bit worried about how this will go. Basically wait for an opening and then attack. They don't have that much health, especially with the Gilded Sword, so this shouldn't be too bad. Not bad, but don't think it ends here. Alright, let's head through here and see what's inside. And obviously they are guarding something very important, another egg. We have another one of these little clam enemies, so let's, we actually have that equipped already. Again, a lot of inventory management in this particular mini-dungeon. Let's equip our next bottle, hook shot up to the aquarium, and then dive inside. Once again, I'm trying not to land on the enemy, because again, I'd rather not take too much damage since we have to fight Gerudo Pirates from time to time. I say as I immediately take damage, because of course. This can be a little bit tricky to like line up attacks in this very tiny aquarium. I'm definitely taking more damage than I would like. You put a Zora egg in a bottle. It doesn't look very healthy. You'd better have someone examine it quick. I decided to simply get the egg and get the heck out of there because I have 1 heart left. Let's hope these have hearts. That has arrows, and this has a full heart refill, so that actually worked out really well. From here, yeah, we can take this door. Actually, first I should equip the stone mask again, just in case. So that takes us to this area. To be honest, I usually don't take that door, so I'm a little bit disoriented. Alright, so our next stop is actually back over where we just were. Let's carefully drop down. If you're holding forward, you usually perform a roll to keep you from taking damage. Like if you just land, you'll take damage, but if you manage to roll, you'll avoid losing hearts. Instead of going to the top of this hook shot target and then going to the other side, we actually want to take the door this time. And we have a stealth section that we can very easily trivialize with the stone mask. Again, if you want a challenge, you can do this completely without, but I definitely prefer using it. Halt! We aren't fooled by that mask. And we have to fight yet another Gerudo Pirate. Again, it's basically the same fight, not too difficult, but again, we want to be careful since we have very little health to work with. Don't think it ends here. And like before, we can head inside here to find another egg surrounded by a bunch of those skeletal fish from earlier. Again, we have to unequip the mask. The 3DS version has like 2 touchscreen spots to put items, so you can technically equip 4 items at a time, which definitely makes an area like this a lot smoother, to be honest. But again, we want to hookshot up and transform. When we dive into the water, we'll also want to activate the shield move to try to take out all the fish in the water, like so. We can very easily take them all out like that, and now it's safe. I did not mean to climb out already. You put a Zora egg in a bottle. It doesn't look very healthy. You'd better have someone examine it, quick! You got a red rupee. It's worth 20 rupees. That's pretty nice. Once again, let's head outside, but also let's equip the stone mask again, just in case there are like pirates outside. And from here, we want to go to the opposite side of the fortress. Yeah, we have to hookshot up. There's also an exit, by the way, which actually you don't need to take at all, because we have the Song of Soaring, so once we get all the eggs, we can just warp. But yeah, there is actually an exit over there. I'm pretty sure you can actually hookshot torches, too. So there's actually a torch on the upper walkway, meaning you don't have to go through the entire, like, underwater section to get back to this point, in theory. Alright, so we are pretty close to the end of the Gerudo Fortress, but I think we'll save the rest of it and try to locate the remaining eggs next time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.